Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in. My name is Jean-Louis, and I'm here today to talk to you about trees and how you can plant them free of charge. So, first, let me properly introduce myself and show you a little bit what my life looked like just a couple of years ago. So, this was me cruising around, jumping out of planes, living in a van, and just generally having a good time, but not necessarily doing anything good for the environment, let's say. So if we fast forward to what it looks like now, as you can see, I'm planting trees in groups of people at university and also with Cub Scouts and local residents within Swansea. I'm traveling a lot more sustainably, preferably on my bike. Also campaigning and protesting with Extinction Rebellion or Fridays for Future or anything around that theme. I'm generally involved. So you might be thinking, how is it someone can go from traveling around the globe, jumping out of planes, to then planting trees and campaigning for the world? It's a very good question, and the only sort of simple answer that I can give you is that deep down throughout my travels, there's always something that felt I was missing. I was having a good time, but I just wasn't really feeling very fulfilled in myself. And over the course of maybe several weeks to months, I was just thinking and researching and just sort of joining the dots on what I've seen throughout my travels and thinking, you know what? This planet is in a little bit of a mess and I'm not necessarily doing anything to help. So I thought if I could change my own personal ways and then help inspire other people to do the same, that creates a domino effect. So that is, in theory, long story short, what led me to creating the Swansea University Tree Society because, it's great to plant trees by yourself, but to do this surrounded by your friends or family is just a whole new experience. It's just so heartwarming just to A, make a difference, but to be around other people who also want to make a difference as well. So that is essentially why I decided to change my ways, and I won't talk to you about becoming a vegan or why you should not eat meat, but also just looking after your body and your world. They just go hand in hand. You have to look after your body, your mind, your spirit, everything, and then things will follow. So, why trees? Good question. Personally, I just think trees are magnificent. They look incredible when you're in an ancient forest land or mountainous environments and you're just surrounded by these trees. For me, I feel at home. Maybe it's something prehistoric or something that's intrinsically built into our previous lives is that, we used to be surrounded by trees. It's just something that we was always around. And now we're living in concrete jungles and very disconnected from our natural roots. So for me to be able to plant trees and increase our tree coverage is just something I feel is the right thing to do. We have to look after our environment. It's just what we have to do. So that's essentially a long story short why I love planting trees and I've set up a society. And this has actually also led me to something called Ecosia. So if you haven't heard of Ecosia, it's really, really easy. It's a search engine, just like Google or Bing, but they actually use 80% of their profits for reforestation projects around the globe. And so far, they've planted 112 million trees just by people searching online. It's nothing different to Google or Bing, but they use 80% of their profits for tree reforestation projects. That's incredible. So if you haven't downloaded it, download it now. Get it on your smartphone, your laptop, your tablet, anything that's connected to the internet. You can search through Ecosia. So that is something that you must do. So the main reason why I'm actually here today is to tell you about a new project. It's probably the biggest project that I've actually taken on, that I'm wanting to take on, is to challenge our government to incorporate a tree planting scheme. So my inspiration actually came from the Philippines, where they've actually made it law. It's a legal requirement. If you want to leave school and graduate, you have to plant a minimum of 10 trees. How incredible is that, right? So they reckon in one generation, excuse me, in one generation, they can be planting 525 billion trees. 525 billion trees in one generation. So we here in the UK, we have approximately 12.5 million students, both in elementary and higher educational institutions. 12.5 million of us. So just think how much greener our land could look like if we incorporate a similar policy to this. So that is essentially what I want to do and what I want to make happen. So I've created a petition. It's very early days. I believe we only have roughly 150 signatures or so. I only set it up maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago now. And I think we need about 10,000 of us to get together for the government to actually respond, and then 100,000 signatures for this to be debated in Parliament, potentially debated in Parliament. So I really need to sort of spread the word, and hence why I'm here today talking about trees. So if you support this project and you would like to see more trees in our land and people would look after their local patches of nature, head over to Swansea University Tree Society on Facebook. Inside there, if you just scroll down a little bit, you'll see the green petition for the government and parliament petition. Go on there, sign it. You'll receive an email confirmation. Just make sure to click that, so then your signature does get verified. And then share it with your friends or family. That would really, really help. I believe you only get 6 months online before they take it down. So if we don't reach the 10,000 or 100,000, then nothing will come about. So please, please, please sign and share. Secondly, yeah, make sure it's download Ecosia. Just do it. It's really, really easy. Download the app on your phone or your laptop straight away. Every time you search, you plant a tree. It's cool. Before I forget, another project with Ecosia. They've actually partnered with another organisation called Tree Card. It's a debit card. It's going to be free of charge for you. It's actually going to be made out of sustainably sourced wood. And when you pay, I believe roughly 50 to 60 pounds worth of transactions, they will then use 85% of that profits that the merchant pays every time they use their transaction fees. It goes towards that business, and they're going to be using that money for then planting more trees. So it doesn't cost you a penny. It costs the merchant, the guy in the store, to use their card machine. It doesn't cost you anything. So if you head over to treecard.org, you can pre-register to get one of their wooden cards sent to you as soon as they come out. I believe it's in the next month or so they're coming out. So just keep your eyes peeled for that one. And lastly, what I want to say, look at my notes, is how could I forget? We the people, we have the power. Sometimes it can be so overwhelming with all of the doom and gloom that's happening, especially in 2020 with, I don't want to say that word that's going on, but yeah, there's a lot of bad things in the world, right? And it's so easy to get dragged down and just feel like that you're not good enough to do anything. But the truth is that when we come together with a united vision and it's something good, it always works out. Trust me, it always works out. But you have to have the passion, the drive, and just think big. Never think small. Always think big. Think positive. Positive vibes are always the key. You have to think positive and just stay focused on the task at hand. We live in a very distracted world. It's so easy. The amount of times I get distracted when I'm writing up a thesis or just writing up anything online, and you just get so distracted. There's so many things trying to grab your attention. But if you just stay focused, get rid of the distractions, you can make it happen. So that's all I'm here to say is, please help me to help you, to help everybody, and together we can do this. Thank you.